Please stop calling Josh's hair dreads. They are locks. Anybody know why that's important?
Making a video on the word dread versus locks. I saw a video today on Instagram about a school teacher saying to the students to stop calling Jared's hair dreads when they're called locks. And I was surprised at the amount of bullshit people called in the comment section from well-known lock tubers like Keisha Charmaine, Chris McDread, saying that it's spreading fake news. Now, I personally don't believe that the word dread is a negative connotation for having locks, because we've come so far from the times of when people referred to locks as dreadful. Now, if we look at the meaning of the word dread, it is defined to fear greatly, be in extreme apprehension of, to be reluctant to do, meet, or experience, to be in great fear, dreads, informal. Synonyms for the word dread: alarming, frightening, awe-inspiring. That sounds like a good word, no? Awful, creepy, dire, frightful, shuddersome. And then antonyms for the word, which means the opposite of the word dread, is pleasant, pleasing, welcomed, wonderful. The fact that people get upset to this day about calling their hair dreadful, I feel like there's much better uses of our energy if we're gonna be focusing it on words that we use in the Black community. I don't feel like the word dread versus lock is detrimental to our community, especially not nearly as much when I compare it to the word nigga, which is far more widely used in the Black community. But yet there's not as much talk about people, especially Black people, using the word amongst each other. Even though that is technically the only way for this word to be used, there's still no talk about us not using this word amongst each other in our Black community. And that's the part that really bothers me, is that people worry so much about the word dread versus locks, when I worry more so about the word nigga versus homie. Why can't we just say the word homie? The crazy thing is the N-word has been extremely perverted through colonialism, through slavery, and yet we still use the term today as an endearment term when it's not endearing at all. In fact, it's degrading. When the real root word that it comes from is an Ethiopian term, I believe, and it's spelt N-E-G-U-S, pronounced NEGUS, meaning emperor or king, royalty. When the slave masters knew of this term, they perverted it, and would call the slaves negus, almost as a term of controversy, you know, so that they really flipped the switch on that word. And now, hundreds of years later, we still use the perverted meaning of the word. So essentially what I'm getting down to is that we shouldn't use the word niggas. We should use the word negus. Because when I hear somebody say negus to me, I will know that they've done their research into our roots, and they're using that term out of a much higher form of respect than a slight term of endearment in the perverted way. Here's a clip that I was watching this morning that sparked this whole discussion regarding dreads versus locks. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this clip. I'm gonna run it right now.
Please stop calling Josh's hair dreads. They are locks. Does anybody know why that's important? Though we have a lot of young ladies wearing pretty faux locks, the history of why people of African descent, like our ancestors, wore their hair locked, is very, very spiritual. But when they came over here to this country and other countries in which European standards of beauty were basically stamped on us and engraved in us, they began to call our locks dreads, meaning dreadful. What does dreadful mean? Ugly. What else? Scary, evil. Exactly. So when you call them dreads and don't even know why you're using that word, you are perpetuating the idea that our beauty is in fact not beauty at all.
So to all my homies out there, women, men, everyone that still uses the N-word, you're perpetuating the idea that we're still perverted slaves amongst each other. And I feel like if we can literally stop using this word in the black community, it's a step to lessening black on black crime that's happening out there, because it's the same way that we're being stamped on our soul, ingrained in our soul to kill each other through the media outlets and through drug distribution and gang violence and shit. You know, perpetuate the right idea that we're a NEGUS, that we're emperors, not that we're slaves. Like, come on. I don't care who you are, you're a gangster, I don't care if you're preppy, I don't care if you're a white girl trying to be cool in front of a black guy. Don't use that word no more. That's where my passion lies. And in terms of dreads versus locks, I'm gonna call them dreads. I don't feel that they're dreadful. In fact, I want people to look at my hair in fear. I want them to look at my hair in awe. Because my hair is a sign. My hair is a sign that I'm being rebellious against modern society, against colonialization. My hair is a sign that I'm standing up against what is wrong and for everything I believe is right. And sometimes for a point to be made, scare tactics are definitely worth noting. Look at the news. They fearmonger us all the time. Maybe my locks are fearmongering in other people so that it filters out the weak-minded ones from approaching me, because I really don't got time for them anyways. And for those that are not filtered out through the appearance of my dreads, they're the ones I want in my life. I just don't get why people are so upset with the word dread. Who's actually getting offended when someone comes up to them and says, hey, nice dreads? We know that in today's society, no one's using the term dreadlocks, in a way that demeans us. No one's using it in the fashion sense that says, I think that your hair looks ugly or frightening when they say dreadlocks. In this day and age, I feel like if someone's gonna tell you that your hair scares them or your hair is ugly to them, they're pretty much gonna tell you either in a sneak diss or just straight up front. But I don't think the word dread is being used as a sneak diss these days. I just don't think so. And I've never felt it myself. When someone says to me, hey, nice dreads, nice dreadlocks, or it says to me, hey, dread, I never think of that as a negative term. And the amount of times that I've been approached in the street by people calling me dread, it's uncanny. Hey. Morning walk with Ziggy. Maybe I'm in the wrong on this viewpoint, on this debate. But it's just how I feel. I'm just tired of people saying that in the comments, saying, oh, don't call them dreads, call them locks. Listen, stop trying to tell other people how to live their life. And that's that. And like I said, I don't really go around telling people to stop using the N-word, because I'm not here to control people's lives. But while we're on the topic of the debate of dreads versus locks, I just wanted to share that my perspective, if we were gonna make a debate out of anything, would be on the word NEGUS, current use of the N-word these days. Anyway, smash that like button, subscribe.